People are gonna be like, where
Oh, we
is
are?
that? Are you here? Oh my gosh, it says we've been live for 30 seconds. What's happening?
We have not been live for 30 seconds, but
I know.
like 8
now
seconds.
It's very weird.
All
Does
right,
it say
so
40 seconds on your guys's?
No, it
It
says
says
14
15
seconds.
on mine.
Mine says 51. Like, I will legit take a photo so you don't think I'm crazy.
We already think you're crazy, Jen, but that's
I was
fine.
about to say, like, you don't have to prove us otherwise.
You know what I could do?
We don't need to provide proof. I mean, we know.
All right. Right here, it says 104. Can you see that?
No.
It's all blurry. It doesn't work out. Damn it.
I'm like, no.
I was like, I'll text it to you, but that's not going to work either, because by the time you get to it, yours going to say, yeah, that is right.
Yeah, that's the right time, Jen.
That's the right time. That's the right time. And yes, we're live. Hey. Hello. Hi. How are you? Aaron, if you're in the chat, you're supposed to be here in the live. Sir.
Nicole is out for blood, you guys.
I tagged you. You have to be here. He's probably messed up because he probably saw 6:30. It's my fault. I accidentally made this live 6:30, but I had it on the photo 6 o'clock. I had it on the.
Watch him just show up at 6:30. Hey guys.
I know. Hey, how you doing?
What are you talking about?
What are you guys talking about? We were just talking shit about you the entire 30 minutes of this live. That's fine. I would never do that. I would hopefully do that. Hi, Liz. How are you?
I'm gonna turn out you yawn every time. I'm sorry.
Literally.
I'm tired.
Are we boring you, Jen?
No, I'm just exhausted. I stay up late. I wake up early. I do way too much during the day. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I should go. I literally have plans. I'm like, I'm going to be in bed by 10 o'clock. Even if I'm reading, it'll be fine. I'll just be in bed. And then I get to the end of a chapter. And case in point, this book, I was like, I'll just read to the end of the chapter. And literally the chapter that it ended with was him telling the doctor, yeah, we're secretly eloping or like getting married or something. And I'm like, I can't stop here. I need answers. Like, where does this go? Are we playing this out? Is she mortified? Like, I have to know.
Like, is this going to turn into fake dating?
I was so excited. I was like, I can't end here.
Oh my.
I really like this book so much. Finished it last Saturday. Already started on the next. Okay, no.
Oh, wait, the next one's out?
Yeah.
The next book comes out in May, right?
Hold on, let me
DM
about Kate.
Kerrigan Byrne.
Oh, you got it in.
Where is my arc? Where's my arc of this?
I'd love one too because I wanted to look up who was going to be the next two, but I couldn't.
Harris.
What?
Is that her brother?
No, it's
or
his
brother.
Sister. It's his
and
sister.
Tristan,
Harris
right?
And Tristan,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Book for Saturday. Got it.
Oh,
is it
like,
this
how
Saturday?
do you already have the next book?
It's not this Saturday. No, it's going to be the 26th.
For the Duke one.
I messed up on the Duke I Tempted because I totally forgot about that book until like Friday, and I'm like, yo,
I remembered
read it
all week, and then I was just like, I'll get to it. And then I started doing this like whole overhaul in my room, and that literally took over my wanting to read, wanting to do anything. I'm just like, I want to get it done. And so I haven't had the energy to read, or I can't listen to an audiobook while I do it just because I get so focused on like reading the book that I have in my hand. Like, does this book bring me joy? Should I get rid of it? Do I need it?
Yes, thank you, Alicia. That's the 19th. The 19th is the Duke I Tempted.
Is that around your birthday, Alicia? It's in my calendar. Hold on. Maybe I'll have something that I can prove at some point today. I won't look. Hold on.
Oh my.
So yeah, for the
it's your birthday.
Oh, the 19th? Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Birthday celebration. So yeah, we moved the Duke I Tempted to March 19th because Nicole forgot about it. I take full responsibility.
It's okay. It worked out really well for me because I was like, I can rush through this tomorrow, but I'm probably not going to remember a lot.
I did check Brandon Sanderson's YouTube and his Kickstarter. That's at $15 million already. Awesome.
That blew my mind. I was like,
how are you going to write 5 secret books? And they all look so long. I'm like, I cannot.
I feel like he's like gotten so he knows what he's doing story-wise that he just can go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's
I'm like,
you know,
he's like writing like how like indie writers and romance write.
but with epic fantasies.
I feel
Yeah,
like even
it's kind
indie
of
some indie authors like outright Brandon Sanderson. If you combine all their books in a
Yeah,
year,
probably.
yeah.
some of them just like, oh yeah, I have a book release every 4 weeks. It's nothing.
How are you gonna write 5 books in the last 2 years that look to be over 1,000 pages long? Like, I'm already irritated.
I looked at the prices for that Kickstarter and I was like, I don't like you that much,
I
Brandon.
did not even look at the prices because I'm like, I know that's too rich for my blood. Plus, I already bought Katie's Kickstarter, which I bought the full hardcover swag box. So I'm just like, listen, that is my treat
The
to
Wicked
myself.
Villains.
Yeah, that is my treat to myself this year. I cannot support another Kickstarter, especially someone who is as prolific as Sanderson, and the prices are going to be up there.
Yeah.
And the books will be available. You can probably find them cheap afterwards. Like,
That
after the
aren't a
year
part
has
of this
passed.
major series. Yes, these are going to be. It's like 4 of them I think are in the world. So another one is completely different. Like,
Yeah.
sir. But yeah, okay. So that was interesting. He broke the internet. But yeah, so we are talking about A Reckless Match by
I
Kate
love it
Bateman.
so
First of
much.
all, I love this cover.
Yes.
Second of all, this is the washi tape that I used. I used the flower one again. With
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
old
Can I
stuff.
just tell you, I don't know if I've been reading books with large text, but I opened this book and I'm like, why is it so small? Like, I started squinting. I'm like, do I need a
Really?
magnifying glass to read this? And then after a while, I just started reading it and flowing through it really fast, and it was fine. But like, I initially opened it and I'm like, this writing is like a 10-point font. It felt like to me. Did anyone else have that experience, or am I just like crazy?
No.
I like that size of paperback. Instead of like the
too.
smaller ones. I think they
don't.
discontinue them now. So like now it's back to the original.
These? Really? They need
Yeah,
to
I
make up
remember
their
Joanna
mind.
Shu mentioned like the second book in her series was like in that format, and then they changed it back for the third book.
You know, they need to make up their minds because I have nearly 3,000 books that are the regular, mass market paperbacks, and now you're going to go to this weird square one.
Yep.
But
Publishers don't care. They don't care at all.
They don't care. They don't care.
I am spoiled with the changing font because I do have it larger for the Patience price that I'm reading. I'm reading that one. I'm like 3 days behind. I finally got caught up. It was my goal this weekend to get caught up. I did catch up, and then you know what I did? I had to focus on this book, and then I was like, okay, I'm sorry, Julie. I'll get back to it. Aaron's here!
I swear I checked like a few minutes ago, and it's like, 45 minutes. I'm like, great, I can get something to eat.
I knew it. I knew it. That's my fault. That's my fault.
Oh, that's
You know,
all right.
I was like, I made this live, like I just saw it. I was like, why does it say 6:30? And I was like, no, it's supposed to be 6. But I made the thumbnail. It said 6 o'clock on the thumbnail, but it was my bad.
But can we just appreciate Aaron's background?
Yeah,
I love it.
Like, what is this?
So
He's
it's just
there.
It's
there.
like an ocean
amazing.
cave thing, I wanted to go with the theme and everything. So
Oh my gosh, that stressed me
That's
out.
like you just like did the assignment. I didn't even know what the assignment was, but you did.
I didn't.
Bro, I've been doing this whole thing. I've got this this green sheet that Jeff Bezos says is a green screen, but it works pretty good. So I've been doing this for the lives.
It works.
And he's like a reporter. He's live at the scene right now.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I was like, find me one of them Davies. I will take it.
I know. Find me a Davis, please.
I can't relate because I listen to audiobooks.
Oh.
No.
See, I don't know. I really liked this. I agree with you, Charles, that I like the format of this square book. It felt right in my hands. Because sometimes I have to I hate cracking the spine.
Yeah.
And so in the smaller books, you have to do that because it's just like,
It's so
I can't
tight.
open you too much, but let me try and read in between the crack.
Sorry, I just heard the word.
It's like
tight.
the perfect size between like a trade paperback and like a normal mass market paperback. It's like the
I'm right there with
perfect
you.
size where you don't feel like it's cheap when you get the mass market paperbacks.
I don't mind one or the other. Just make up your mind. What are you gonna do?
Like, just
are you gonna have the?
I was like, switch
This
over.
is why I like ebooks. Like they can change whatever they want. You just update on your e-reader and then you're good to go. Like
True.
you're reading a series
Sometimes
and
it
they change the
automatically
covers halfway
updates it for
through.
you.
they're just going to, because that's the part that drives me crazy when they change the covers and they won't go back and reissue the other ones in hardback. So you're like, okay, I'm going to have like mismatched series. Like, who knows how many times they're going to change the cover.
Ember in the Ashes. They did the first two a certain cover, and then they switched the covers and made them completely different. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy the next two now. So you just screwed yourself. But
yeah, the third Seaside Cafe. Someone went to go buy that, and they got the weird one. I was like, okay, that's in the middle of the series. Like, why? I would understand if you continued the third forward, because they did that with Partners in Lime. That was how that one came out. It was just the larger cover. So I'm like, okay, at that point, it's just going to be crossing over from there on. But don't go back to it. That's so weird.
Yeah. I'm fine if they do like a special edition paperback after the hardback. So like the paperbacks are different covers, but the hardbacks stay the same cover. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I prefer. Because I'm like, oh, that's a cool new edition.
All of my Seasides are the same. They're the mass market paperbacks. Like,
not Partners in Lime.
It's not Partners in Lime, but I'm just saying, like, not.
All
you said the third one. It was, but it's.
But if you were to try to buy it now, it's the new weird copy. Because someone got it at Target, and I was like, why would I already had it? Yeah, but
you're just gonna have to buy it again, right?
You just have to buy the whole series all over again.
That's what they want you to do. They just want you to go like, you know what? I want all the matching books. See, this is why like book boxes are like kind of killing the game.
They want
especially
you to do
like
that.
series that are done. You go like, here, you can buy
that.
all these books with all these special covers, and then you're matched, and then you're good.
And they're so pretty too. Again, they did that with Ember in the Ashes. They made these beautiful covers, and I'm just like, and like the edges were so beautiful. I was like, no, Nicole. No, put your wallet away.
It's okay. I won't be supporting any Kickstarters. Audible drain me dry with the sale.
Oh my gosh! How many did you get?
That sale was just ridiculous. I was like, Audible, come on.
I'm glad I didn't know about it. How many did you buy?
Still going on.
I'm not. No. It's ended.
$3 audiobooks.
Wait, it's $3. Whenever I see sale, they're like, oh yeah, so it's gone from like 15 to 10. I'm like, okay, sure.
No, like if you do some digging, like some are like going for like $3, $4, $5.
Charles.
Like a lot of authors. Some are like not discounted, but some are like, I'm like, what? $3?
No,
I've got 5 credits stacked up, so I don't even need to worry about that.
Nice.
I went crazy.
I had to cancel my subscription in February because it was going back up to regular price, and I'm like, can't have that.
Make sure you pre-order one that you didn't have an audio. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm bitter. You know, Nicole, I rage texted you last night. I was so pissed.
Did. But the same thing happened to me. Like, she had a Kindle version of a book pre-ordered. And then it advertised you can get the Whisper Sing price for how much? And so
for
she
$7.50. So I was like,
and then they charged her $28 like they did to me. And I'm like, why are you advertising it as 7 something and you're just going to charge me for the full price of the audiobook? And they're like, oh, well, just buy it when it comes out. I'm just like, that's not the point. Sorry.
Cut it out, Nicole.
Because you have to wait for it to come out and then
but they had it on the website.
Can get that.
They already had the sale. So
if
you're gonna tell me that I already pre-ordered the Kindle and I can get this for $7, then I don't want to wait. I want to go ahead. Oh, I'll pre-order this now. Here's my $7. Don't tell me you're gonna charge me $7.50 and then charge me $28. That is rude. That is rude and disrespectful. Dishonor on you.
False
dishonor on your cow. Dishonor your whole family.
It's bamboozling. I went off on the guy that this poor man that was working with me, and I'm just like, I know this isn't your fault, but I have to vent to somebody, and I was like,
I was ready to call someone and be like, listen, Linda, here's the problem in the system.
And I'm like asking the guy, I was like, how does this make sense? How does this make he's like, ma'am, I don't know. And I'm just like,
just buy
it.
I hope you blasted him on Twitter too.
I should have taken screenshots and been like, look at this ridiculousness. I should have. I'm too non-confrontational. I would have sent it to Nicole and I'd be like, post this for me, please.
I would too. I'd be like, again, Amazon.
So about this book that we read.
About the book that we read.
Yeah.
Okay. How much did we love it?
I read it in 2 sittings.
Yeah, I did not want to put it down. I wanted to rate it 5, but somewhere like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't feel like it was a 5. I gave it 4.5, but I was just like, I can't tell you what was missing though, because I like enjoyed every moment of it, but at the end of it, I'm like, I don't feel like you're 5. I feel like you're 4. Like
you said this
4.5.
You're like 4.5, but I don't know what I would add.
And that's the like I can't describe it, but in my brain, I'm just like I in my heart of hearts, I can't give you 5. But you did nothing wrong. Like it was a great book. Like I'll continue to read the series.
You needed more sex. You needed
that
more
was
sex.
it.
You had one
probably
penetration
that was
sex
probably
scene.
it.
And I was
on the rocks. Like
I was like, this is like the worst place to do it.
I was waiting for the sex scene. Oh, I'm gonna make love to you in the sun where I could see her body. I was like, yes, please give it to me. And no, it didn't happen. It ran away to London. What? I was so
maybe
irritated.
That is what is it. Yeah.
No,
I agree. I agree.
I totally get what you're saying, Jen. Like, because I read the Bow Street Runners for like other trilogy, and like I was like reading this, I'm like, it's missing something.
It's missing
like
that
the romance, like the romance enemies to lovers. It's like it's there.
Oh God. Yeah, I loved it.
It's not. I was like, this not clicking for me. Like her other books had.
It's
I was like
more
waiting,
than
and
just
it was like the
enemies
third
to
act.
lovers.
I was like, okay, I see what she was doing. It's like a slow
childhood
burn.
Oh yeah, it's like a childhood
really slow
rivals to lovers, but it's it's always been you, and I'm just like yes. And there's only one horse scene where they had to share a horse. It's like there's only one bed, but it's a little bit better.
Oh no, I think it was a suspense plot with the Highwaymen that I didn't 100% like, because it felt like it was kind of just like, oh okay, now these random and her suitor turns out to be the guy behind it.
Moisten
we read that for the Swoon Sisters, and we're just like, it's called the Highwayman, but he was not doing the highwayman-ness. Like he was not a highwayman in this book at all. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
for enemies to lovers, like the heroine was like already in a bad position, because I'm like, her family's broke.
Yeah,
broke.
I was kind of pissed with Griff when like he caught him outside with her like fiance that she was basically telling no to Drake, and he was just like, oh, like you're no better than a whore. I'm like, excuse you, sir.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you give her
I was like
that's a post-it
excuse
note. I
me,
was
sir.
like, sir, first of all, sir, apologize.
I was like, you went from 1 to 12,000 real fast, and I need you to take that back and then like start over.
He was saying like, at least like, are you gonna have someone on the side? Hopefully I don't have to duel him and he won't be a jealous husband. I was like,
I know he was out of control. He was out of line on that scene, 100%.
Like, where is
you're gonna feel like an asshole when you find out what it really is, you jerk.
Yep.
I was like,
says, I love this comment here. I don't get why they have sex right after being injured, because romance injuries don't cause you pain enough to forbid you to have sex. Like it just doesn't happen, because she was literally shot in the arm, and they were just like dry humping on this armchair in the library.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
And then in the cave, he literally had like I feel like a rock fell on his leg, and it could have been broken. But he was just like, it's totally fine. I can have sex, because it was literally life or death. They had no idea if they were going to make it out of this cave alive, and it was then or never. It was then or never.
To protect her, like the guy that wanted to marry her was like, she was like, he likes some pure like virgins to make me not a virgin. That will like drive him away.
Oh yeah.
Like that's poor reason to want to do it right now in the cave.
No, she was saying, okay. That was like, they were joking that dragons live in the lake, and dragons don't like virgins. So she's like, protect me from the dragon. I was like, okay, that's super cute. But also, like, I had to think, like, when he was fingering her in the cave, I was like, you literally just touched cold. Yeah. And I'm just like, your hands are covered in coal dust, UTI, yeast infection, but you're going to die. So it's like, you're going to risk the yeast infection.
Yeah, if you're going to die, might as well just go out with a bang.
And for some reason, in my mind, I was like, well, that's how they're going to know that she was compromised, and they're going to force the two together because they've got all these like coal prints on it. I don't know why.
There's one right there on her cross. Like, yes.
That's pretty damning if you ask me.
Oh, like they come out and they're all like, and there's just a handprint on her friggin' petticoats, pussy area. Yes, amazing, perfect.
Well, I mean, they reemerged and she's just in underwear, right?
Yeah,
like that was enough right there.
True.
Well, first of all, she was like, she was literally gonna drown them because then she's like, oh wait, let me just take off my skirts, I can swim. I was like, you should have done that an hour ago when you first got into the water.
I was concerned about his leg in the water. I was like, I'm pretty sure we don't know what is inside this water. You have like an open wound.
They kept saying it was like inky black. I was like, is it just because it's dark or is it like crude oil or something in this water? I was like, you're going to get infection. Everybody's going to get infected. Her vagina's infected. His leg is infected.
What was it?
Cut him off from the...
That's a little more sanitary, right?
Yeah. A little bit. So terrible.
Oh, gosh.
I was thinking, I was like, this is really hot, like you're fingering her and all, but you literally have coal hands, like you really do. It's like you should have cleaned it up a little bit.
At least in the water, like let's wash that off maybe a little bit.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I saw the candle falling in the water from a mile away. I was like, at some point that's gonna happen. I hope they have a new one. But then they were in the water and her tinder box was in there. I'm like, all your matches are wet. You guys are screwed. Like it's basically pitch black. Try to get back to your other cave. Probably not gonna happen. Like this is where you die, but we have too many pages left, so I'm not sure how we're wrapping that up.
Oh, for sure. It wrapped up really well. I'm really, I really, really enjoyed it. I think I agree with the 4.5 rating. Of course, in Goodreads, you have to round up, so they get back for that.
Yeah.
But Storygraph, you have half stars.
I would give it like a 4.45 because I truly like it's a 4 for me. Like it's solidly a 4. I love the ending.
4.5.
No, you guys, like, I had an existential crisis while reading this book. I was like, the first 2/3, I was like, this is meh. It's still entertaining.
No.
I enjoy, but like, have you guys read her Bow Street Runner trilogy?
I have not. I probably will.
Like the hooks in all those books.
By her.
You have all read everything by her?
No, I said I'm going to read.
Oh,
because this was so good. I was thoroughly entertained the entire time.
Yeah, it hooked me way better than the Duke I Tempted.
Oh, you finished
okay.
it?
Well, I'm only about halfway through it, so but I put it on pause when we moved the live.
When we decided to move it.
Yeah.
When I decided because I forgot about it. That was my fault as well.
I think that's the issue because I read the Bow Street. I gave those all 5, and this was like not. I thought the third act was the best, but the first 2, I was like, "What, Kate? What are you doing?" I was like, "Is this gonna be the first Kate? Is gonna be the first Kate Bateman book that I don't like?"
No.
I was like, "Is she gonna turn into a Joanna Shupe in my mind?" Like, I have one good series.
Not Joanna Shupe. I still want to read what is it? Uptown Girls by Joanna Shupe. I want to read that series.
If you read the Uptown Girls, you might as well just like I don't recommend the 400 series.
No.
If you do want to read her newest, I heard The Lady Get Lucky is pretty good, but don't read the first book in that series. Okay. That's the thing, like the Uptown Girls is so good, but then you read other things by that author, they're not nearly as good. So that's what I was worried about for Kate. But then the ending, I was like, okay.
But if this is kind of like the least impressive book, I'm glad that I read this first and I really, really enjoyed it. So I can be blown away by reading the other ones. Yeah. But I was thoroughly enjoyed. I love the banter, childhood rivals to lovers. I loved it. They're just flirting all the time. And, it's just, he stole her shawl. She stole his jacket
or something.
It's they're just adorable. And I'm like, y'all are in love. I can see it a mile away. But I like how they even acknowledge it to themselves. They're attracted to each other. They know that they're flirting. They know that they have that tension. And he's even said, like, when we get his first chapter from his point of view, like, he has literally done, titillating things to himself while thinking of her. And I'm just like, this is amazing. I'm glad that we're not, saying like, oh no, I can't, that's
I can't be with
our
him.
rival. I can't be with them.
Yeah.
I liked that they acknowledge it, I like it.
Yeah. And I
like
also
when she left him a letter at the end, like
yeah,
near the end.
Best
like,
friends.
We can be friends now. And he's like, delete that.
He was so irritated. He was like, no, if you're going to break up with me, you're going to say it to my face.
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard. I was dying laughing. It was so funny. He was
it's so funny
because
she was like scared. Like, is he going to show up here? Is he going to pop up here?
Yeah. So it is May when the second book comes out. Awesome. Thank you.
Maybe we should put that in the lineup because I would love to read it. I already pre-ordered it too.
I have not pre-ordered it, but I will.
This was before the book purge. This one is actually going to survive. So I've started, like, if I read a book and I don't love it, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and give it away. This one, like, as soon as I read it, I'm like, I don't want to immediately just, like, release it back into the wild. Like, I want this on my shelf.
I want to keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not getting rid of mine. Since it's a signed copy, I was like, no.
Rude. Shh, Charles, you're making me angry now. I want one.
Hey.
Wow.
I would love. This is one of the times where if there's a Goodreads thing and it comes out, that I'm going to be like, I will enter every giveaway. Please give me a signed copy. I follow her on Instagram. I'm already glad about that. She posts the cutest stuff. But yeah, I'm going to hope that there's a signed copy out there somewhere. And now I'm going to go end up.
She has a giveaway, right?
What? I haven't marked this as to read yet. You know what? Might as well just do it because I know I'm going to buy it.
Do it.
Yeah.
So Chloe's asking, is this really enemies to lovers, though? It's obvious that Maddie and Griff secretly have crush on each other from the very start. Semantics.
Enemies.
It's definitely,
Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely, I feel like it is for sure, just because they have that whole family feuding kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, I enjoy it.
I like how they poke fun at it, like the beginning where it says it starts with a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a funny way to like turn the feud into something comical,
Right.
especially with the two dictionaries, the other dictionary at the end.
Yeah.
He was like,
Mhm.
if I just gave it to him, he wouldn't really accept it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He's like, you have to make
it's almost
him
like they
work
need
for
to
it.
fight about nothing.
Their fathers were best friends. Like, I don't
Oh,
care.
they
He
were.
was
Yeah.
so sad. He was so sad
When
when
died.
Griff's dad died. I'm sorry. He was like crushed. He's like, I can't even go on anymore. What's the point of life? He's like having this existential crisis. But it's like, it's true though. It's like their whole life is for like feuding with
one
this.
another.
Yeah, but it's just like
Yeah.
when you don't have that person there to feud with, you're like, well, what am I gonna do now? What am
I
gonna
love-
do?
I love that he was at the thing. He put up his own dictionary copy and he bet against him. I was just like, that's all he wanted to do,
Racking
is
that
up
price
the price.
up.
I was like, he wouldn't do that. He's doing it. I was just as glad. She turns around. See, what are you doing?
Yeah. Telling him to stop it. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. I knew it was his copy. I knew it was
Well,
his
yeah.
copy. I was like, there's no way
Yeah.
there's just like another second copy just magically put
Right.
down. Like, no, it's his copy.
I like how she had the nerve, the hero had the nerve to go like, don't you dare bid any higher.
I know he was because she didn't want him to bid, like her dad to bid higher than 50 pounds.
50 pounds, yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
Well, and I like
listen.
that he stopped at 30. Like, he obviously didn't know what it was, but he knew that they were in a precarious situation. So he's like, I love the reasoning behind it. Like, he wouldn't have just accepted it from me. He had to win it, like,
Exactly.
honorably.
Yeah.
Get him in a good
He
mood.
had
so
to
that
win.
could
You know,
ask
he had
for
to
his
win.
hand in marriage.
Yeah.
And I love that he actually did get on his knees. And then when she was just like, do you want me to get on my knees? I was like, I'm pretty sure that has double meaning there. And yes to both.
Yeah.
Got no
Liz-
coal dust on these hands.
Liz wants to make it known that stealing farm animals was serious. It's even serious now. Stealing is bad, but it's hilarious.
I feel like back then it would be like extra serious.
I love when they were talking about it, and she was just like, "You know how this feud started? It started with a pig," and he's like,
Hey.
"No, it didn't.
It
It started with a woman. It started with a woman. It's like, who's gonna fight over a pig. And according to Liz, everybody. It's grounds for.
I trust her because she likes all the history. She reads all the history textbooks. So
she knows it. She knows it.
I thought that was like just classic feud. No one knows who actually started the feud.
Right.
No one knows, but they have to keep it going. Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say, Aaron?
Well, these are two, titled houses, know, as well. So
I love the king.
They can each afford to lose a pig. Yeah.
True.
Right. The king is like, I've had enough. Y'all share this strip of land. You come and shake hands. I'm tired of your nonsense, is really what the king was saying.
I thought we were going to have a scene towards the end where he actually brought an honorary pig being like, I'd like to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage. Here's a pig. I was expecting that.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
No.
I love how she was just like, let's just end it. Let's exchange pigs.
Too late for that.
It's like,
the ship has sailed on that one.
No, it's fine. No.
Oh my gosh. I love the aunts too. They were hilarious.
They were great. When they were at the dance and they're like, oh, no, we know that they don't do everything bad, I stuck off with one.
They were just talking about it's like, yeah, it's like I haven't got married, but that doesn't mean I haven't had fun. Like I was like, okay.
Oh gosh.
Oh, so funny.
Is anyone else weirdly? I don't know if this is just me or if it I get the cousin aspect, but the way that it's setting up is that it's sisters on one side and brothers on the other, and then this family they're all going to get into a relationship. I'm like, after the first one gets married, aren't you related? I know not by blood, but.
Oh no, they do that all the time.
They do that all the time. They married their first cousins. You really think they're gonna care about marrying their in-laws? No.
I mean, it seems weird to me. So a modern day mindset where I was just as soon as they were talking about how much they loved each other, I'm like,
would it be okay if one is you find out one is was adopted? They're actually not. Would that make it okay for you, Jen?
Well, and that's why when the one where they're like, oh, it's my cousin likes this other guy, I'm like, that's fine. But then I knew that the brother and the sister, the odd ones, the outs on the ones, that they were going to get together. And I'm just like, I was like, can you just have a double wedding and kiss at the same time?
And then Morgan and Harriet. So it's Harriet's the cousin with the brother and then the sister.
I can accept that.
I can accept it.
That's the other one where I'm kind of concerned about. But I guess, in-laws, they're not blood and the first cut. I get it all, but at the same time, I was reading this, and as they were doing it, I'm like, wait a minute.
She's drawing a family tree. She's like, wait. Yeah. They're not magically blood related because the brother married his sister or their sister or whatever. We don't think about bloodlines in America the way they did in Europe and no. Oh yeah, no. They're I said, they're out there marrying first cousins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say, Aaron?
The author even poked fun at it of oh yeah, it's all just to keep the wealth amongst 100 families.
Yeah.
Well, that's legit what they do. What they did back then. Everyone will marry each other in some degree. They did it with royalty too.
Yeah.
How many Henrys or Catherines or Elizabeths have there been?
So many.
And you find out they're all creepily all technically related, and they're all family.
Oh my god! I read this one article about how the queen is related to
someone's aunt's uncle or something like that. I'm like, it's not that far removed.
Oh, it's so bad. Yeah, I read an article about how the queen was related actually to her husband. I'm like, oh, I can't. No, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see it. I'm gonna pluck it out of my eyeballs. It's like, okay, fine.
Actually, I have a question for you real quick, Charles. So you've read so have you only read the Bow Street books? Because I was looking at one, there's a society series as well. Or have you read all of her books? Do you recommend them all, or are you just the Bow Street ones that you've read along with this one?
I just read her Bow Street. Those are her first traditionally published.
Okay.
Got it.
I think everything before that is indie.
Oh.
So I haven't read her
Hoopla has the Bow Street ones, I think.
I think so.
I think they're on sale too on Chirp. The Bow Street Runner series.
Okay.
I was going to go on Amazon and be like, can I get a Kindle copy? Do I want a Kindle copy, or should I just do the paperbacks? Because at this point, I did really enjoy sitting down and reading these. But now, and I know that we're bringing it back, I really want them, like, if I buy them, I want them to be the newer paperback because I did so much. And I think this is the first of the newer paperbacks that I physically read. So I haven't had the, like, joyful experience of having that in my hands. And I'm like, I didn't like you because all of my other books are different, but now I love you the most.
The most. I was really interesting how she was inadvertently struck by lightning.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah, they oddly mentioned that a lot. I was like, and she's perfectly.
I mean, honestly, she's like, I have pain in my arm randomly. I was like, it's probably like you're having like a mini heart attack. I feel like your heart is not beating in sinus rhythm. You were literally struck by lightning.
Okay, here's how bad I am.
A little fried.
Yeah, they just like walked it off like it was nothing. They're like, "Oh, poor child, got struck by lightning that last year." I'm like, "This is just like a point." It's just like gossip for everyone.
Oh my gosh.
At a weird point in the back of my mind, I was thinking that like her being struck by lightning was gonna act as like a glow stick in the dark. I knew it was so far-fetched, but at the same time I was just like, why else would we bring this up so often? Like she'd get in the water and all of a sudden she'd just start glowing. And I was like, that would work. I know. It was, I don't know where it came from, but I was like, there's no other reason that we could bring up being struck by lightning so frequently.
I can't with you, Jen.
I recognize that it's like an outrageous thought, but I was like, I have to share this because you guys will laugh too.
I'm actually mad that it's not in there. I'm like,
right.
Why is she not radioactive?
Some kind of superpower.
Ridiculous. But I love how it was kind of like when he learned that she was struck by lightning, he had like this pause, like, oh my god, is she dead? Like,
is she dead? Yeah.
He was so worried about her. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. His pulse had only resumed its natural rhythm when he realized she had survived the freak accident.
Yeah.
Adorable. I have a book about Tsar Nicholas and 3 other royals. Nicholas was wearing the same coat Prince Harry wore at his wedding. Not a coincidence.
That's really cool, though. Same coat. Lasts all the histories.
I only enjoy royal pageantry in books.
I know, right? Me too. I'm just like, I know, there are a lot of people who really love like being like abreast on the royal family and everything, and I'm just not that person. But
if they have a wedding, I'll watch it. But yeah, other than that, I'm like,
I don't even like. I have a DVD of my own wedding that I don't even watch. So
yeah, right. Yeah.
Why would I watch it?
Well, you were there, right? It was.
I was there, but it's just like you know how
memories
are unreliable, especially after you've had 3 concussions. Like I was like, oh yeah, that kind of happened. I was like going through the pictures the other day, and I saw a picture of a person I didn't even know was at my wedding. I had no idea. I'm like, oh, you were there. Awesome, great. 13 years later, I'm like, cool, thanks. This book felt way longer than it had to be. I had a really hard time with the first half. Okay, so it's kind of same how Charles was feeling kind of May, the first half. The setup took forever with too much detail about mining and smuggling.
But I felt it did read pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was like a little bit bored, but I wasn't like, oh my god, this book is the worst. It was solidly like a 3 for a decent majority of it. I was like, I like it. I flew through the audiobook in 2 sittings.
That's so interesting because I don't feel that way at all.
Yeah, I enjoyed this all the way through.
Exactly.
Just the chemistry between them was just great.
Yes, I loved it. I love how it was kind of like the forced proximity part of it, even when before they were actually like trapped in the cave. But when they were doing that kind of, like mining, and I thought that was so cool.
It's like, well, you're not going to do that without me, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is shared land. I have to be here.
Yeah,
I really liked it. I like their banter too, but I love like the enemies to lovers banter. I love like the snarky. I really like it.
I just love how they've been walking for like a half a mile, and then she was just like, God, we've been walking for hours. I was like, that would be me.
Can we turn back? Did you bring snacks?
Where's the water? Why is it dark in here?
Take a break.
Well, yeah, they'd walked all the way to the ocean. I'm just like, yeah, you walked a while.
Yeah.
King Henry VIII is just very fascinating. The things he did for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's true.
Oh. Even though it's completely messed up, was very fascinating.
Yeah.
I'll watch the Tudors. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I thought the same thing. I was like, I watched that show. I love
I'll watch the Tudors. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, are you kidding me?
Hey, in my defense, I was reading a lot of books at the same time as this one. So I could be skewed.
Tell me about it.
You know what? You are entitled to your opinion.
I did kind of have
I told you, I showed you my schedule. I'm regimented so far in my reading.
Yeah, you're very you have a lot of arcs. Like, I cannot. I like 4 arcs at the same time, and I'm like, I can't do it. Bye.
I didn't finish the Tudors.
It's a great show.
I just watched up to Boleyn first season, and I was like, okay, I'm good. I don't care about the rest.
Yeah, she was the best. Natalie Dormer. I mean, God, she's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, that's right. Henry Cavill was in that too.
Okay.
You can watch the old Disney.
Everyone watches The Witcher
Cristo,
just to see
him as a
Henry
baby.
Cavill shirtless. That's the whole reason why that show exists.
Oh my gosh. But I actually liked him when he got older in the show. Like when he was this young rake, I'm like, okay. But when he got older a little bit, I was like, salt and pepper a little bit, the beard, when he was banging that French girl when he was off at war, I'm like, yes. But yeah, but then you watch what you were saying, The Count of Monte Cristo, but then if you also watch Stardust, he plays that guy in Stardust, that blonde guy. I was like, oh my God. Oh, so funny. But yes, that was part of the reason why I watched that show.
But go read The Bow Street Runners. You will love it. I would think you would reconsider your rating on this after reading that.
I don't think so. But
you know the trope for the first book, right? Is the heroine wants to get her inheritance, but she needs to get married.
Oh.
So she finds a guy that's about to be killed, like the day before he's supposed to be killed, and marries him. But then lo and behold,
he survives.
He gets out of prison, and then he's like, "You're my wife."
How frustrating. Sir, you were supposed to die.
How dare you survive?
You know what? That would be my luck, honestly.
It's so good. It's so good.
But yeah, I'm gonna read them. I'm gonna. Okay, so when they were at their little well and she fell through this part of the earth, and he's like, let me come down there. And he's checking her bones to make sure nothing's broken. I'm like, I think I broke my vagina bones. Higher. Check that out. And she was like, he was up. And she's pulling her skirts down. I was like, not me.
Nicole, you be pulling up, be like, check it all.
Let me check your bone.
Is your bone okay? That was a pretty rigorous fall.
Hey, you guys are right. Our Reckless Match has a higher rating than the first book in the Bow Street Runner series. Maybe I'm wrong. But I like that one more.
Charles is having an existential crisis.
Yeah. Don't let the internet tell you what to believe, Charles.
I'm so conflicted now.
If you didn't feel it the way you felt with the other series,
maybe I'm just going to give this a 5 just to not be FOMO.
No, everybody's right. I can't have these thoughts and opinions of my own. I can't.
Every day, that's what I think about Sarah J. Maas. You don't know how tempted I am. I'm like, I see her audiobooks on Hoopla. I'm like, do I reread them?
Just reread the second one.
I don't even like the second one. I was like,
Charles,
Sarah, Sarah, you literally started the book here. The second book's forget the first book.
Yes, forget the first book.
Here's where the real series starts. I'm like, did you just write a prequel that was unnecessary?
She should have just
Amarantha and that dumbass and that dumb riddle.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. I was like, you couldn't get that?
We can all just agree now that we've read the second book that the first book was trash. We all agree. But just reread the second book. Like that's it.
I just
That's
reread that one chapter where they get it on. That
Yes.
chapter is that's the only worthwhile. I tried reading book 3. I was like, I don't even know what the plot is anymore. Can someone explain to me the plot of the last 2 books?
Resand.
You just need to watch Cindy's vlogs where she reads through them and makes fun of them the whole time. That's how I experience Sarah J. Maas.
Because I'm trying to figure out, like, I know what the first book is about, but then what is the second and third?
Resand.
Is like there's a war or something? I'm like, who are they having a war with?
The queens.
No, but there's a blowjob in the midst of battle that's very famous. So, you get that.
I mean, who wouldn't? Life or death. You got to get it in while you can get it in, because you could die.
Gotta lift the spirits of the soldiers, right?
A volunteer as tribute.
keep morale high.
Yeah, you gotta. I watched some videos today. I might want to get the new Mass book. I haven't even started Throne of Glass. I didn't even enjoy Throne of Glass until like book 3.
I liked it.
That's what I always hear everyone say about Throne of Glass. I'm like, then why?
That's because you meet a certain character in book 3.
Yeah, Nicole because
is this
of the character.
Yes.
I still thoroughly enjoyed books 1 and 2, but yeah, I mean, I would say it picked up a lot more 3 on because she got together.
Sometimes I just wish I had I liked all the popular books. It would make my life so much easier.
You don't have to. It's fine. It's okay.
I want to what is the appeal? I was like, do I do a Sarah J. Maas video? Because I know we'll get the views.
That's going to be 100% clickbait for people who know you because they know you hated it, and so you're just doing that for views, which is fine. Do it. I'm just do it.
I'd watch it.
My brain will tell me don't read this. Don't read this. Read something else. Look, the new Presley Cole is waiting for you to read.
There you go.
Yeah, I still
haven't read Monroe. It's killing me.
I have to read the last 2. So I have Monroe and then the one that was before that. Something Wicked.
You haven't read Wicked Abyss?
No, I haven't read that one yet.
You don't have to.
I want to.
Yeah, it's I think
I read my audiobook
McCreeve, and then there's another Lachlan brother book.
I read McCreeve. I read McCreeve.
I think it's book 2 or 3, or book 1. I can't remember.
Yeah, the only thing I have to read Wicked Abyss and then Monroe. But yeah, I've read McCreeve.
How dare they? It's cheaper to get the physical book than an ebook. And I just know for the Bow Street books, they're not going to be.
Hey, the favorite book in that series for me is the 3rd book, and that has the highest rating. So I feel better about that.
Well, this book is rated higher than the Bow Street. So can we really trust your opinion? Can we trust your judgment?
Should
I just get the first one, then wait for the other 2?
Go?
I thought we were going this whole time.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
I was also
just read the 3rd book. The 3rd book's my favorite.
Trust your gut. If you want to rate this 4.45, rate it 4.45. Weird, but go ahead and do it. It's fine.
Nicole.
Nah, I'm probably gonna give it a 5 and forget why.
Forget why. I gave it a 4, and then in my comments I said 4.5.
Hey, no one judge me. My currently reading is at 100 books.
Why wouldn't you round it up to 5 on Goodreads? 4.5 rounded up is
because it's how I feel in my heart about it. I just didn't feel like it was a true 5, so I can't
math. 4.5 you round up.
Then I agree with Charles. It's a 4.45. I'm on Charles' schedule now.
That's what it is.
Charles' schedule now.
Or they're just, stars.
There's a rating that you put out on Goodreads, but then there's a rating in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
There's what I mean?
You have in your heart.
You have a different rating.
And it's 4.45.
There's a difference between a 4.5 that I rate a 5 on Goodreads and a 4.5 and I rate a 4 on Goodreads. Because if I feel like there's something really truly missing, it's got to be a 4. But then I don't know. Again, I can't explain why. I feel like nothing was missing in this one. I just didn't feel like it deserved a 5. It's just I don't know.
This is why you should get Storygraph, because then you can rate. half stars.
I really need to go to Storygraph, but
Or
like
just
I'm too
not
lazy
star rate stuff like me.
to move over.
Or you can just totally abandon the system, anarchy, like Charles, or not Charles, Aaron.
Aaron, what do you do? How do you
He
rate?
doesn't.
How do I rate? Oh no, I just use the sites to track stuff. Authors probably hate me. Yeah, like I'll spend a week tweeting about their book and then not post a review. You know.
Do you at least write a review? Like you don't rate it, but like do you at least say like I like this, I hated it?
I mean, if I feel like I have the time, but it's just I'm awful.
Well, you're doing all these vlogs, so you should totally just put the link to your vlog.
Yeah, just link it to the vlog.
Review.
All right.
Oh, that's true.
I'll take a weekend and do all the backlist and that.
Yeah. It's like, hey, if you want to know
why
my
would I
thoughts
follow
and
you
my
on Goodreads
opinions,
if I can't see any of like your thoughts on books?
Oh well, I don't even update Goodreads anymore. I'm on Storygraph. Yeah, I know.
Storygraph. See?
Mm-hmm.
See?
It's
Chloe
okay.
asked, would you continue this series? Yes.
Oh yeah,
I would.
Oh
100%.
yes.
1,000%.
The ending was what made me go like, okay, I'm locked in.
Mm-hmm.
I love it, so cute. Who should we send for the handshake next year?
Know,
and I was just like, that's so cute.
I was like, y'all are planning ahead. I love it.
But then who's the third brother? Who's the third Davis brother gonna match
Who
with?
knows?
Yeah, Reese. It'll have to be another have to be
I feel
another,
we're gonna have to scrounge up another Montgomery somewhere.
Yeah, right. Maybe it's one of the ants
cousin.
and we'll get an age gap.
I thought the same thing. I was like, do an ant. That's fine.
That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. I don't think I would want to read the same dynamic 3 times. Yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. I'm 100%
I feel like she would make it a little bit different for each. There has to be a little bit different.
Yeah. I feel like something is going on with Karis and Tristan, you know, it's like she's all flamboyant and everything just to kind of push his buttons, and he doesn't like give her like the satisfaction. I'm just like, I love it.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely have a different dynamic. Although I also am kind of concerned about Morgan and Harriet because they do. It seems like it was Morgan and Griff, and then Harriet and why can't I think of our Maddie, thank you. Like they were the two that were always like butting heads. So I feel like it could revert back for that one, but I don't know. I'd still continue. Just at least give the next book a shot.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna continue. And the second book better have more than one sex scene. I will be upset.
I don't think her Bush Runner is any steamier. I don't think.
Don't tell me that.
I don't think it's. Yeah, I
mean, they had some pretty like steamy buildup.
I feel like it's mostly like 2, maybe 3, maybe
a little
3.
Chili peppers.
Chili peppers or bell peppers?
Scenes.
Oh.
Yeah.
2-ish.
Yeah, that's not bad. I give her like a 2 to 3 on the spice scale.
On the spicy chili pepper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like when you have authors like Grace Calloway out there, that she's like clearly a 5 out of 5 on the spice scale.
It could be because it's historical.
I've read some historicals that have like 3 or 4 sex scenes.
Yeah, Sophie Jordan's pretty steamy.
Some Lisa Kleypas books are pretty steamy.
Lisa Kleypas too.
Yeah, Eloise
Maya Banks.
Maya Banks. Yes.
I think it just depends on the author. It's just like all in romance. It depends on the author.
That's true.
Or some authors, it depends on the story. Like some authors won't always keep the same steam. They'll change book to book based on the characters.
I would have at least had them finger banging on the armchair in the library. Like I would have at least.
I mean, they were going to.
They were so close. And then his brother. But I'm just saying, like I would have had him go all the way, so we have a little bit more. But yeah, I was like, how you just randomly come home? Like really?
Yeah.
You've been gone for how long, and you're just gonna come home like that? Rude.
I was hoping they were gonna get caught, and we would get that whole. Well, we've got to marry each other now.
Didn't they already tell the doctor that they were married?
He was.
And Harry was like, "How dare you? My dad's gonna find out." He's like, "Sucks to be you. This is the first thing you know with me."
He's like, "You shouldn't have been out here." I'm like, "Wow." Wow.
I'm like, "What logic?"
You shouldn't have been out here with me. It's your fault. Oh my gosh. One of my post notes here is like, again, they're kind of like they're checking out everything underground when she fell through, and they were talking about how there was a cravat snake and how he was like actually choking her, and she was liking it. I was like, hold on,
Yeah.
wait a second.
Well, and then okay, so jumping ahead, there was he mentioned like he would throw her in a dungeon. He's like, I've done a lot of work to the dungeon. I think you'd like it. And I was just like,
Yeah.
what type of dungeon is this?
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you teasing me with BDSM and you give me one sexy? Rude.
Well, it did sound pretty painful, so.
True.
I was like, he just he increased the pressure just a tiny amount, and heat and dark confusion pooled in her blood. I'm like, oh, she's liking it. I was having a heart attack. I was like, she's liking it. She's enjoying it. Okay. I was like, is this going to be BDSM? But no.
This is a side effect of when you read too many romance novels. You pick up on you put like hyper focus on like details that like most readers wouldn't pick up on. He grabbed her neck and applied a little pressure. Ooh.
And she enjoyed it. It was her enjoyment that did it for me. I was like, oh.
Or like the hero touched her backside and like trailed his hand down lower level. You're like, are we going that direction?
Are we going the other way? Awesome.
I'm not sure if it was in this book or a different historical that I read, but they were talking about how she had an ungloved. I thought they were talking about how she had an ungloved hand at one point, and I was just like, oh, the ungloved hand.
No, it was this one at the beginning when she was riding to the bridge. She took her gloves off. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. I got real excited. I was just like,
we're talking about choking and anal sex, and Jen's like, oh, the ungloved hand.
Those are the moments that kill you, Nicole. For us true romantics like Jen and I. Yeah.
Charles and I were like, yes,
Nicole, we're just on the erotic side of things.
Like, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back a little bit.
Meet in the middle.
Sometimes that can be more scandalous than like the hardest hardcore sex scene. Let me just tell you.
Oh, I am in complete agreement, Jen.
Yes. It honestly, like every historical romance that I read, I always wait for it. I'm like, come on, touch her wrist. And
I'm like, choke her.
Her corset's already doing that for her, Nicole.
I know. Like, she's already feeling some asphyxiation. It's fine. She's like, oh yeah, that's all you're gonna do. I can't breathe all day, okay? Oh my god, so
it's
funny.
okay. We have our historical. We have our authors that will go that way.
That
Nicole.
extra
we have
mile.
Nicole Davidson. We have our authors.
Alicia just says Jane Austen. For the touching of the bare wrist, I'm like, there's no choking in Jane Austen. Like, unless it's because someone's trying to kill the other person.
Pride and Prejudice gives you the feels. I was like, ooh. I was like,
right here,
romantic. I was like, I feel the swoon.
Yes.
Nicole, and that's what I'm like. If you're not gonna give me steam, I want to be swoon.
Yeah.
I want to like feel the swoon. Like, oh, he touched her hand.
I just don't like how we were promised BDSM and not given BDSM. It's expectation for me.
Nicole, that should be like a title of a video. If you do like a standalone review.
Don't tease me with
so
BDSM and not deliver.
1 star.
No, never. 1.45.
No, Nicole, you missed the opportunity. 1.37. Just pick a random number. It's gonna be even more random.
Even more random. Like, what?
I feel like if you saw those type of ratings on Goodreads, you would be like, really? 1.251. You couldn't just say 1.
Gonna step up and be like, put whatever percentage you want. Put whatever decimal point.
That would be fun to like assign like a calculation to all of it and everything to come to that weird percentage.
Oh yeah,
weird decimal.
4.98. 4.98. 4.98.
Sure, yeah.
No BDSM.
I just was missing a little bit more steam.
BDSM.
I think that was me.
Yeah. Yes.
I think we all agree this book could have used more steam.
Yeah.
Because their banter was so good, and like they both knew each other. They had so many moments. They were alone together so often. I was just like, oh, things are going to get
alone all the time.
No.
Yeah.
Like 75%
That's like gold
of the
for
book
historical romance.
Exactly. They're praying that they're alone so they could bang it out in like 2 minutes because they're going to get caught. I agree. I agree.
It's a good thing that they killed one of those bandits and severely wounded the other. Otherwise, they would have been caught alone together by those two.
Exactly. They had to die.
Yeah, they had to.
Cannot be compromised.
No.
Cannot. No.
That's why I love historicals. The whole compromising is so fun.
Right.
It's like he touched you. Coming? You're compromised.
I know.
I can just imagine like back then, like some they're just like, oh man, I shouldn't have picked up that girl's handkerchief. Now I'm gonna have to marry her.
Or God forbid, some woman starts choking at dinner and you have to give her the Heimlich. You're basically at third base. You're getting married tomorrow. Oh goodness. So funny.
It's true.
It is true though. The second Bridgerton book like just makes me laugh how they get compromised. I'm like, Anthony, you don't have to go that ham over getting a bee sting out of Kate. Remember when after they're sitting outside and a bee stings Kate?
Oh yes.
And Anthony goes to the point where like putting his mouth on where the bee stung her, like trying to suck.
Trying to suck his finger out.
I was like, Anthony, I'm like, maybe.
Like it's not like
you went a little bit too far.
Like, I have to save her. He was ready.
I mean, he was ready.
Life-saving techniques there.
He would. Oh, that was such a sad scene for him because he was so detrimentally like destroyed by it. That's how his dad died. But I noticed, I picked it up. They have bees all over the posters and stuff for the promotion of March 25th. So I was just like, oh, I see what they did there.
And they have Pall Mall, the game they play.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, they're sticking so close to the books. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
All out.
They need to make the third Bridgerton brother. I forgot his name. Colin, yeah. They need to put him in a menage. Like, he had the vibes. You can't tell me what him and the artist in season 1. You did not think it was gonna go that way.
Yeah, I did.
I was thinking like, maybe.
I mean, I think off page it went that way, or off camera it went that way. One of those
parties,
like Shonda, at least one.
We're in the 21st century. You got to make one of these couplings like LGBT. Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
I think hopefully we'll see that in the future. Like more,
For Eloise.
Oh yeah.
It could be epic. Epic.
Okay, so this my next post-it note is basically where they were playing their little game with the dictionary about word association. And she lost, of course. And he's like, I never said where I would kiss you. And I'm like, oh, you sneaky little devil.
Yeah. I like how all your post-it notes like allude to like a sexual act. You're like, I caught that.
I caught it.
Honestly, I mean, as innocent as she was, as soon as he's like, give me a word for tongue, and I was like, cunnilingus. I mean, she probably wouldn't have known that, but at the same time, that would have been a use of the word tongue. He would have been like, yes.
He would have accepted.
He would have been
triple
appalled and turned on, and they would have done the cunnilingus then.
I'm surprised you didn't think of that, Nicole. I was like prepared.
I was actively trying to think of an actual word for tongue. I was like, there ain't no other word for tongue. I don't think so. I was like, I would have lost too. Dang.
Isn't that kind of cheating though? Picking a word with no synonyms.
He definitely made her lose.
And why did he get to pick every word? I thought they'd go back and forth. Like each one would get to choose, and then he kept picking them. And also, I don't understand. I thought like he was supposed to stay on his half of the alphabet, and she was supposed to pick from her half. And then all of a sudden, he picked like whatever word that he wanted. I'm going, what?
It's because she didn't. It's because they didn't lay out the rules. She didn't catch it. He was just going, he's a rascal. He's a rascal.
Well, he was prepared. He's like, that you're on the wrong side of the alphabet. I'm like, sir, you're on the wrong side of the alphabet. Get out of here.
Side of the alphabet. But she didn't call him out on it.
Maybe it was the rules of the game, and I'm just not aware of them.
That
was more off-page detail that I just didn't get.
Yeah, exactly. Just going through my post-it notes just to make sure. When he wrote their initials in the coal with the heart.
Oh yeah.
He did it as a joke, but I was just like, it's true love.
Well, and then I love the conversation that they had afterward. They're like, we should be like caught in a compromising position because it's gonna fuck with all the archaeologists for forever. And I'm like, that's hilarious. Please do. Yeah.
She was offended. Like, you're messing with history.
Just think about like years. If you found a dead body that was like pointing or something, I was like, you would spend your life trying to figure out what the heck's going on. So funny. Griff said boys torment girls they like, maybe 10-year-olds, but but he did that when he was like, when they were younger, they were always like reminiscing about all the stuff that they did to each other when they were younger. Now it's just like flirting and sexual tension laced barbs. But yeah, do grown men, it was just their flirting back and forth. At least that's what I got from it. But
yeah, because he wasn't really mean to her. It was just, more just like the comments and how he said things, and he was I think more trying to make her blush because she was the epitome of innocence.
Yeah. So
I mean, some of the things as kids were pretty mean, like tying her skirt over the top of her head.
Oh,
that was mean.
She's like trying to like bat it away. I was like, wow, that's a mess. And he's just laughing. Wow.
Then he wanted her to come into his room at night and be like, "That was my Shaw." I'm not sure that in that scenario you weren't thinking that she said Shaw, but she went right along with that scenario. I was like, you get it, girl. You get it.
I just love how they did not like try to shy away from it. They're like, they totally knew that they were attracted to each other. I was like, oh my God, this could have been like a total amazing like hate bang too. I would have loved it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would have been good.
This is where I was just like, sir, your hand is covered in coal dust with I'm like, sir, there's water.
You thought that too.
There's water.
Like, he had just been shooting guns, sword fighting, like messing with gunpowder.
There's a lot of stuff on his hands.
All sorts of stuff on there.
There's dust. He looked like he had a powdered wig because the explosion caused like all the dust to go everywhere. I was like, you are dirty, sir.
Hey, I have a question for you.
There's a lake right there.
But then I was also terrified to Google it. What are French letters?
Oh, that's what it's kind of like. They're like condoms, but for back in the day.
I mean, I assume so, but then I thought it might have been like a mistyping for like leathers, because I feel like I've seen that where they use intestines to go over in like a movie, but I was just like, French letters?
Yeah.
I'm confused. I assumed it was
Googled
that.
It.
Do you know what could pop up? What kind of images I would see?
Incognito.
Can you imagine the stuff that some authors have to look up when they're researching, murder mysteries and things like that?
Yeah. To my house
How do police investigate this kind of murder?
Yeah.
Immediately flagged.
Yeah. We need to do a wellness check. Ma'am, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine.
Sorry, I just remember that's the word that he used when he stopped and he's like, I don't have any French leathers. And I'm like, what are buffs? What are these buff pants that they keep talking about? I needed to Google that too, because I was just, they kept talking about how his pants were like, it was a buff pant. And I was like, a what? A what? I assumed it's just like a really tight pant, because I loved every time he would get like a ladder or he'd be climbing something and she'd like want to just like run her hand up his thigh. And I was like, get it, girl. Get it.
He knew how to wear a pair of pants. That's what it was.
Oh, is that by NG? That is an illustrated cover, right? Sweet Hand?
Yes. I have this audiobook. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate you.
Nicole's like, I'm going to listen to that later.
Imagine Thriller arrive at their door.
Like, I swear I'm an author. This is purely for my next book. I will dedicate it to you.
Research.
Could you imagine that dedication to the officer that showed up at my house because of my Google search?
Yeah. I mean, that's a romance right there.
Yes! Oh my God, that would be so. You're welcome, guys. One of you
Someone
guys,
probably
and
has
I'm not
wrote that
doing it.
romance already.
100%. Yeah, but it'll be different. Oh, Hallmark is all month of March. They are accepting non-agented. So you
Submissions.
can, yes. So do that. It's got to be clean though, unfortunately.
Rude.
Clean,
Nobody wants a clean
contemporary, 75,000 words to 90,000 words.
Oh.
And I'm just like, I literally only have 2 contemporary works, and if I took the sex out of it, it would be like 30,000 words.
We can't have that, Nicole. No.
And I'm just like, and I was just, and Julie's like, come on, write for Hallmark with me. And I was like, I can't bang out a 75,000 word contemporary romance with no banging. I cannot physically, in my heart and soul, cannot do it.
You're supposed to write
just
about
send it to me to
feelings.
edit. I'll just say, and the door
supposed to write
closed.
about? How am I going
Or
to
fade
show
to
that
black.
they like each other without banging and cunnilingus? God.
Hey, Hallmark better watch out. Netflix is coming in hot with the romance shows.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
And they do the whole range. I don't think
Yeah.
Virgin River is that steamy. You know the Virgin River show?
I haven't watched it.
What's the Magnolia one? There's another one that's like a group of friends.
I'm saying all these shows that I have no idea.
You don't know?
Is it on
you ever
Netflix?
heard- Yeah, Netflix.
Oh. Well,
Man.
in my defense, like the shows that I have to watch, my husband also has to watch them. Otherwise, I have to watch them by myself, and that doesn't happen.
Just watch Bridgerton together.
I don't even want to watch Bridgerton. Like, I'm not going to get my husband.
You haven't
to
watched
watch.
it?
No, I haven't.
Why not?
No.
I
That's
haven't
fine.
watched it. No, I have not. It's fine.
I'm aghast right now.
Yeah, no.
As a
I'm not.
romance person,
There's just this one scene that I'm not too excited about watching, but
they do it better in the show. So don't worry about it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
can Julie submit under another author name so she seems like an amateur author for Hallmark? I think she's going to do it. I think she's going to.
Yeah, I think you just
She's
have
the
to
one
be
that told me
unagented.
about it. Yeah. And
Oh.
she, never mind. She's the one that told me about it. So I don't know if she's going to be submitting.
That's good to know that Hallmark does only clean romances because I have an arc. Now I can say I'm not going to review it.
I'm not
Did
saying
you really?
all Hallmarks are clean. I'm just saying for the submissions, they want a clean romance. So
Hey, one author told me like a really great tip: just search the keywords
oh
before
yeah,
you start the book, and then you know.
you could just get the Kindle version and then just search for dick, like literally. And if there's like only like 1 or 2, then you know it's not.
I mean, as we
It's not
learned,
what?
It's not
Before you look so
knowledge.
sad, you're like, you know it's not.
You know it's not.
to bring it back to the book, you also know that there are multiple words for the word dick, so you'd have to search a lot of different options to figure out,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
true.
if they got creative.
Mhm.
penis,
Manhood.
manhood, yeah, tight, wet, just all kinds of things you can search for to see how steamy your book is going to be before you get in and read it and be disappointed.
Nah, I just open up the Kindle book. It says currently reading on Goodreads. I'm like, okay, now I'm locked in.
Now no, you got to unclick that. You got to unclick it.
I just think like it's too late now. I already committed to it. Okay, we're gonna hate read this now.
I read all Bridgerton books, and Grishaverse did not finish the Netflix shows.
Oh.
Well,
Oh, I didn't like the Bridgerton books.
I
No?
have not read the Bridgerton books.
That's how I
I
felt
do
about
have to
Song of
say,
Ice and
Julia
Fire.
Quinn has good steam in those books.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
they are.
surprised. It's not like explicit, like Anthony and Kate. Like they say "I love you" while they're getting it on. It's so well done.
Mhm.
You're like, oh man, that's steamy, but it's not explicit.
Right.
Mhm.
It's weird. She gets you all the emotions. I was like,
Okay.
damn,
See,
Julia.
that's That's a good steamy scene for me. If they can tie in like the emotional connection with all of the bits touching and everything, then
All the
that's
bits touching.
that's done well.
You just have to read that one scene. I was like, dang, Julia. I'm like, I would continue on with the series because your steam hits. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Even the Duke and I is pretty steamy.
Yeah.
Except for that one scene that the heroine does.
The one scene that the heroine does.
But in the TV show, they do it so much better. Jen, you saw it,
I
right?
will agree, and because I both read the book and I've seen the show, and I think the show handled it much better. Because I feel like it was less like pre-planned.
Yeah.
So it's just like it was an emotional reaction that she like finally discovered something, and she was just like, I now have to test a theory. Let's do this. Whereas in the book, like she found out days in advance, and it was like eating away at her, and then she does it, and then you're like, okay, well you kind of planned this, and it's definitely. I mean, neither option is good, but at the same time, I feel like in the TV show, I was less offended. And I honestly didn't know about it because I started watching the TV show and everyone's like, there was outrage over everything. And so I was really afraid to watch this scene because me, it triggers me very easily. And I watched it and I was like, people have a problem with this? Like, yeah, it wasn't good, but
it made more sense in this because like I don't want to spoil too much, but like it stems from like her not knowing. It's more of a commentary how women don't know.
Sheltered,
how they're more sheltered. So like she was ignorant, and that becomes a conversation with her and her mother.
Yeah.
And so like she realizes like very quickly on like I've been lied to, and it works in that scene. Like you get why she does. You get why it happens. Because you're like, oh, but then she does face repercussions.
Yeah. And she
does face repercussions. So like it's not like she gets away with it and then she's fine. Like she still has to like make up with him. And then I don't know, I don't want to spoil it. But
okay, then don't. It's fine.
It's really good.
You're like, just really watch it.
Yeah,
it's Shonda Rhimes. Just trust her. She will do you right.
They did a much better show. Okay, I'll think about it.
I find it fascinating that in historicals, pulling out's 100% effective.
100% effective.
They still use that logic in today's romances. It's okay.
They did it in this book. Yeah. He's like, I don't have any French letters. I can
like,
pull out. Do you trust me?
Trust
Even
me.
she didn't realize that she could get pregnant. She was
like,
just
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Oh, wait.
Yes. She did not care. She was like, yeah, come in me. That's fine.
We're going to die.
We're going to die. You can't come in or come on her. I mean, come on.
Oh, Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole. Yeah, you should do that. Whenever there's a toast, whenever you're going to do a toast, just be like, here's to love, here's to honor. If you can't come in her, come on her. And just see how many people just look at you.
Nicole, now you have to trademark that and put that on a shirt.
Wear it to the next book
like
sale.
Off their merch. It could be like their trademark phrase.
Yes. That's funny. Trademark.
No one can steal it. It's Nicole's.
It's Nicole. You just got to do it when like your mom's there or your grandmother.
Trying to give Granny a heart attack? No,
Granny would be like, yes, absolutely, yes. She takes her shot, hits the table, and knocks it back. And Granny's like, yes.
Cheers.
Let me tell you a story.
That reminds me of the time.
I lied. I didn't say it, Grandma.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Bad Nicole, look what you started. Okay, so another post note I have is when it's towards the end and he wants to dance with her, and then it's like the previous set had been a lively reel, but as the couples formed into pairs rather than two long lines, Maddie realized it was going to be a waltz. Of course it was a waltz because she had the worst luck in the entire world apparently. I'm like, why is this
scandalous dance?
The waltz is so scandalous. I can't believe they allowed it. I can't believe they allowed it back then. But yeah, she's like, I had the worst luck ever. I'm like, same.
He planned that. Come on, Maddie. Come on.
He totally went to the band and was like, waltz. Gotta get my woman.
Here's 100 pounds.
My family would kill me if I said that. I'm going to do that for the Christmas toast at my in-laws. Yes.
Just make sure you record it and then we can all see the reactions.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't last Christmas. It was Christmas before where I had bought this mug for myself, but I wrapped it and addressed it to me from Joe. So like I was opening it like it was a present from Joe, and I opened it and it it literally says, "Thanks for all the orgasms," but it was a coffee mug. And I'm like, oh my God, babe, this is really sweet. And everyone's like, oh my God, let me read it. I'm like, so yeah, you got to do something that's just a little crazy, outlandish.
Hey, no shame. No shame.
I got my sister-in-law to do it too. It was awesome. It was great, but she did it with her husband. Okay, my last post note is that I cannot wait for Karis and Tristan's book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all my post notes. Did y'all want to talk about anything that we didn't discuss, or anybody in the comments? Let us know. It's been nearly an hour and a half.
It's been a long time since we've done that.
I know.
Mhm.
It was a good book.
Because I'm on this live show. Obviously.
Because Charles is the king of tangents.
What?
Tangents.
They were all great tangents, though. I feel like they were all relevant.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Great.
Hey, it's just my awesomeness. I can't help it.
You
Gotta
like
come
it.
back.
Hey,
We appreciate you bringing it to the live shows.
Yes.
even though Aaron, you were late.
I
You made
know.
a cool
It was
area.
I wasn't even actually signed up for this live, to be honest.
In Aaron's defense, I had made the live stream wrong, and he wasn't originally gonna be here, but I tagged him, so he had to be here.
Yeah. Monday rolled around. It's like, oh yeah, book club. I'm like, oh.
I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna read it.
That's like Nicole's decree. You're tagged to something,
Aaron,
you have to show
you
up.
must be here. And I was talking about it with Jen and Charles before the live, and 6 o'clock rolls around and you're not here. And I was like, is he really not coming?
She was flabbergasted. She was like, I tagged him. He knows.
I was like, he has to be here. I tagged him. We have decided.
No, I just quote tweeted it, for fun, and those
I know.
to show up.
I even went to Twitter and I was like, no, he retweeted and said,
retweeted it.
Join us.
So he has to be here. It was my fault.
She went on her little sleuthing. She's like, no,
Yep.
right here.
Right here. He was approved. Retweet right here.
Here. And then I was just like, I have his phone number. I'm going to text him. I was like, no, don't. I'll just go to Twitter. Let me message him. Like, don't be weird.
You actually add him to your profile picture. So it's the 3 of you.
Oh, that's true.
Make
We
it-
do
make
have
Aaron
that
a
one
official
where we created
member,
the
you
heart that one
guys.
day. I think.
Oh.
Although that covers your face. So we're going to have to redo it.
Yeah.
And then
'Cause
you're
you're
going to have
like
to go like this
Oh.
so that we can see your face.
So that I'm in the middle of the heart. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Just
I
mean, we
Photoshop
could
and split them
try to
apart
do
and
where-
then insert
no,
a picture
okay,
of you
so
in the middle.
there.
That was so hard for me to do. Like, I don't
Well,
know.
because everything's backwards on here.
And this pinky never go. I have to. We know this pinky is
You're just too fancy. It's always out, right?
it's like, why? Oh, Bree's here. Hi, Bree.
Hey, Bree.
I agree.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. I have it. The next book club meeting is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. Note the time change, please. Daylight savings time happens on the 13th. Everywhere else, not in Arizona, but so the time changes will be for you, not for me and Jen. But, so be this book. This is what we're doing next.
Awesome. That's hell of a cover.
It's so pretty, and I can't wait to read this.
I'm really hoping someone doesn't, whoever's number 1 on the list for the digital library, just
decides they're not ready.
The thing that irritates me is I put a hold on this book like 4 months ago when you were like, I want to read this one. I'm like, great, okay, fine. And then I pushed it back. Well, actually, it said that it was going to be like 3 months before I got it. So I was like, perfect timing. It's going to be fine. And then what happened is it came through in like the end of December. I'm like, okay, it clearly has not been 3 months. I don't know what's happening right now. And then I put a waitlist on it till like the last week of February. And then when it came live, it's just like, you're number 2 on 2 copies. It's going to be 4 weeks. And I'm like, I hope it's going to be in 2 weeks because that's when the next live is.
Yeah. It's going to be.
It's on Scribd, Jen. If you let me know, I'll give you my login.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, this is the next book if you want to take a screenshot.
No.
Oh, wait.
I was literally, well, you were holding the book. I don't know if you saw my like shoulder move. I was literally trying to figure out what arm you had the book in because I was like, as soon as I know that it's gonna be this arm,
it's
and
always
then
the right hand.
Hands, and I was like, no, all my hard work.
All my hard work.
I was just confused. I was just like,
okay, are you ready?
I thought I did the right hand.
Okay, hold on though, because this is, you would do this hand.
No, it's the right hand.
This is my right hand.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm like so.
But that's on our left. It's so confusing.
I keep trying to like lift my shoulder that has the book in it and be like, match the shoulder that she has the book on. It's just right.
That is like my whole life is a lie.
I can't put it together. I'm like, oh. Okay, right hand. Okay,
right.
ready?
Everybody, if you want to take a screenshot.
I don't know if that was any better because we're all laughing.
I'm gonna have to write like an R on my hand next time and then be like, this is
right.
the hand we do.
Jen, you're right-handed.
I know. I don't know why. Like, I want to do this. I don't know.
I'm not gonna have a copy of the book one time and be like.
All right. Well, let's all confer before everyone except Jen for the next live show. And we'll do our left hand.
I know, right?
I know.
Okay, guys.
It's gonna be the left hand now.
Left hand.
There'll be like a code word that goes out, blocks me on everything. If we say Cincinnati, we're going with the left.
Cincinnati. Oh gosh. Okay, everybody. Well, this was a great live. I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this book. 5 stars for me. I'm really excited to continue with this series. I'm really excited to be reading Amari and the Night Brothers. But yeah, everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you so much to my lovely co-hosts. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, everybody.